Hola hermanos y hermanas, we are in Bucharest and I'm inside of the training center of Dropshot. Dropshot is one of the most popular specialty coffee roaster based in Romania. So I'm here with Razvan. He is
Hola,
the owner
amigo.
of Dropshot. ¿Qué tal? How you doing?
Bien, muy bien. Really good. Really happy to have you here.
Well, thanks a lot. So, Razvan, we talked a bit specialty coffee in Bucharest this morning. We saw that many people knows about it, but can you please explain to our audience what is Dropshot and how everything started?
Well, it started, to be honest, with Maretera, to be honest. So if I remember really well, in 2019 when we kind of opened, so okay, we prepared like 6 months in back 2018 we started the project, rented the space, but to be honest, the first let's say invoices we had, I remember really well. It was February 2019, and I think I'm pretty sure that in that spring I kind of had the opportunity to meet Rafa,
Okay.
the now manager of Maretera. So I would say it started kind of with Maretera. So 2019 was the year where we started, and yeah, the reason we started because we felt that we could add something to the scene. It was already had some shape. The specialty coffee scene probably started around 2013. And in 2019, when I started, there were already a few years with some coffee shops, some roasteries. And we kind of felt that we can have our own place in this specialty coffee scene. We can make an impact. We had a vision, and now 5 years after, I think we are following the first vision, and we continue to pursue our mission. So yeah, that was our start.
That's from what I saw today, all the new warehouse, the new roasting, you are growing a lot. But let's take a step back. About your experience, what's your history? Where were you before starting Dropshot?
Well, I started in coffee first, before roasting. So I told you 2019 is our birth date, let's say, for Dropshot. But I started working in coffee in 2017, I would say. And I first discovered specialty coffee in 2016 as a home barista. I was introduced in specialty coffee shop, which is still today is a well-known coffee shop, and they were saving right side coffee.
Ah, well,
Yes,
okay.
exactly. So I do have at that time I did have a connection, let's say, with Rafa's family. It was a great coffee, and the small coffee shop introduced me to the specialty coffee world. It wasn't really busy, so I became a home barista. And at that time, I was kind of looking for a new challenge, let's say professionally. I did have a previous company, which was going like pretty steady. And I was really looking to challenge myself to do another thing also. I tried 2 years, 2017 to 2019, being a representative of some manufacturers of espresso machines in Romanian specialty market. It didn't go that well, so I didn't have much success selling like espresso machines or grinder, but I did consider that period as a really good learning period, like educational period, because I was out of my comfort zone. I was trying to sell some brands. It was not easy. The market was small, so I had to learn a lot about specialty coffee, and I had to meet a lot of the stakeholders of the local coffee scene. So I think that was kind of my path of building up my way to roasting. So yeah, after this is how I started, and then it became the roasting, and then thing got really serious.
Great, Razvan. So a big growth of Dropshot during the last years, but let's find out a bit about the market in Romania. what's the scenario, the movement of specialty coffee in Romania? How is developing, and where do you see it in 5-10 years?
Well, the market in Romania, I think, is very favorable to us local roasters. To be honest, I don't know anything what's happening in Europe, but I do see that we are kind of fortunate to have a really dynamic marketplace, let's say, because I feel that we having not such a strong culture in history of coffee drinking made local people embrace really fast this trend of specialty coffee. So we weren't like really established for tens of years previously with, I don't know, let's say like Italian coffee culture. So I think this is one of the reasons why local roasters and kind of the taste profile we give to our coffees has been so successful here. So to answer your question, I think that the market scene is going really fast, I would say, compared with other countries. Of course, I think there are also, like in Eastern Europe, I think there are also countries moving really fast, but Romania, I think it's going really well. And we're kind of in the position where we have quite many new roasteries, but I do see also consolidation, like a few roasteries, like specialty coffee roasters getting bigger and consolidating and kind of, being on the way of professionalizing as a company. And this means like you are able to offer more solutions, more services, you are able to address more market segments. So just
Exactly.
like a serious company, Susan?
No, that's very interesting, because also I was realizing the other day by looking at graphs, because as importers we can have the chance of seeing what Europe is drinking, so each population of what kind of profiles they like. And actually I found that Romania is one of the most diverse, so this means that really you have different markets, different consumers, and different cultures as well. So, and also in your, I mean, you have like many different coffee, different origins. So diversification is really what I would say is the main point for Romania in a specialty coffee culture.
Yes, and kind of like open-minded consumers, which doesn't have such a rigid idea about how to drink coffee, and he accepts lots of suggestions, let's say, from local roasters, and this means that yes, you can implement more diverse coffee menu in your coffee collection as a roaster.
Okay, that's pretty interesting. Let's move a bit, talking about I don't know, some coffee news, some looking at the supply chain, the coffee supply chain. Where do you see opportunities to improve, or any lacks that there are in the supply chain that from your side you can say, okay, this should be improved, and maybe you also have a solution or suggestions?
Well, supply chain, at least for us, is very diverse. As you know, we work with we work a lot with traders. We also do some direct trade. So basically, we don't have like a fixed idea, like we should only try to direct trade or we should only work with traders. I think like there's a mix, and in the end, for us, I think. The best solution is to be able to supply consistently. This really is a part of our philosophy of purchasing green. We call it relationship trading. We try to establish long-lasting relationship. As you know, with you, we have like since year one a relationship, and each year we manage to buy coffees from you and have some consistency. And this means a lot for us. So relationship trading is something important, and also then is kind of understanding what is the strong point, because all the players in the market have strong points, like traders, farmers, you name it. So if they're strong on something and we kind of want to implement this this product, let's say in our offering, then we focus on that product line, and we developed the relationship. So I say for me it's perfectly legit. Everybody makes sense in this supply chain, like traders, farmers. it's just important to have a relationship, a constant relationship, to be able to get the product and to present it in the best way for the end user, because at the end of the day, the end user is the one which kind of validates you as a
Yes,
company.
also. All the supply chain as well.
Exactly.
So the final consumer at the end,
Exactly.
it's very important as well. And it's a similar model to what as well Mareterra develops. So we will talk maybe later, but long-term relationship and good, strong stakeholders that they
Exactly.
think the same way as you, as your model. So from our side as well, working with roaster as Dropshot, it's a pleasure, it's an honor, but also it's something that enrich our business model, because of course providing the same coffee every year with the same quality and increasing quantities, that's the point, that's the goal, and always trying to diversifying. For example, the micros that we are developing, that really in Romania I had the chance of seeing these microlots diversifying a lot in all Romania, Timisoara, Bucharest, so really interesting market, really interesting market. And you mentioned direct sourcing. Do you see direct sourcing as the future of roasters, or you see it's more like a marketing approach that many roasters use it for to talk to consumers? How do you see direct trading?
It might be, from a marketing point of view, it might be somehow sexy to present your coffees like a result of direct trade, but I think we're past that idea. At some point before doing our first direct trade, I'm pretty sure that we were like really interested in doing that, very, let's say, motivated. But once we did it, we kind of understood also the problems that you can have with direct trade. So what traders do, and I think this is something which most of the people in the industry should understand. So traders are very, very important. They can support you with cash flow. They can support you with quality control. So after some experience with direct trade, I don't see that being the clear future. So I see as a big mix, and I can even see that if you do a lot of direct trade, at some point you might be better off, if you have some volumes, going back to the trader and making a deal with the trader. Let's say, like, Mareterra, look, I'm working with this farmer and we have this volume. Let's try together work it out. We need to move faster. We need cash flow. Yes. You are so good with this. You can you can do all the all the paperwork for importing, which is crazy. Importing green coffee from outside Europe. So who didn't do it doesn't know, but we know. So we had weeks when we had one of our colleagues blocked trying to do paperwork for customs and everything. So direct trade, it's something, to be honest, we do right now only with partners which are really, really, let's say, like big farms, very well organized, exactly, with the paperwork. But other than that, we just did it as a necessity, like wanting to pursue our philosophy of relationship trading. So just to give you an example, we had this coffee, amazing, from a farmer. We were buying through a dealer, through a distributor, and they didn't offer it the next season because their relationship or their contract with the farmer wasn't reconfirmed. So we wanted, it was part of our menu, so we bought it. But it wasn't really easy. It wasn't painless or seamless. So yeah, that's direct trade. We had to do it. And we will keep on doing that if needed. But I can tell you that having a strong relationship and a close relationship and transparent, in the sense of mutual beneficial.
Yeah, win to win.
Exactly, means a lot. So
okay, really interesting. And I have another question regarding this relationship model that you develop, that you have like a core business. So okay, I understand the part of surrounding by importers or farmers that they think in the same way. But let's see on the other way, like for the HoReCa side. So the bar, restaurants, do you also make a selection as clients, or you try to train them? How do you select your clients?
Well, that's a good question. So, to be honest, this is a process we're still trying to get better at. The more we grow, the more we encounter different profiles of clients. So, some of them have, basic training, and they have like a basic capability to prepare the coffee menu as, let's say, specialty coffee shop would. So this is a segment of client we are still interested in, because we know that even if they don't prepare perfectly, the coffee, they still can have from a company like us a much better solution than a really commercial mainstream brand which has a different quality of raw material. So even if they are not perfect in execution, we know we can still supply to them and find, let's say, the middle ground of training, expertise, and let's say the criteria of quality we need to ask from them, still manageable to be able to work and deliver for their clients a decent to good product. So this is one aspect. And then, of course, specialty coffee shops, they usually tend to perfect themselves. They're very focused on preparing really well the coffee. So how do we work? So first, if we're talking about like general horeca, which still needs quality and is able to pay more, and of course invest more in training, because this is the first criteria in order to be able to work with us. So if we see that willingness and that that quality-driven mentality, even if they don't have the means, we go to them, we try to support them, and for sure we give them the most, let's say, easy to work coffee. Like, chocolatey profiles, certain origins, certain blends, which are not that difficult. And they cannot make, by mistake, a bad experience for their clients. So this is one way to, to work with this kind of clients. If we work with specialty coffee shops, then also we segment them, because they're like very high-end coffee shops we work with. They work on constant basis with European top specialty coffee brands. Yeah, exactly. Okay. And they're very sophisticated coffee. So for them, we also try to curate and kind of select only some coffees we feel that will be up to their level from our offering. Okay. So that would be one way to be able to work well with them. And then we have, let's say, the rest of the coffee shops which want to do also a really good job for the clients, but are more open to have something more conventional, more chocolatey profile coffees, but also something more special. So also to them we're trying to curate and recommend what we feel that they would actually need from our collection, because we do have a big collection and very different roast profiles and quite many coffee collections. So having this diversity makes us kind of try to communicate more with the clients so they can understand our selection and also understand why we recommend something for them and why we don't recommend something for them. So it takes a lot of work to do that, but this is something we love doing.
And I'm sure all your clients, they appreciate as well, because at the end, if you think, if you serve a coffee to a restaurant or bar that then does not make the perfect job in converting the cup, like the final client, they see that they're using your coffee and it's bad image for yourself as well. Exactly. So investing in learning and training, I'm sure it's something big. And so here we are inside of a training center. Can you explain us what is around here? Because I arrived this morning and well, like the coffee shop there, training, roasting, passing around all the coffee. So can you explain us a bit what is around here?
So that used to be our it was part, this room is a very small room. It's a part of our first roastery. So when we started in 2019, we had one room of, like 50, 60 square meters, which was the other room where we have the coffee shop right now, the only coffee shop we operate. And now this room where we are, it used to be our extension, I think in 2020, where we moved our roaster and also was some green coffee here. And then in 2022, we moved to a bigger location. And this, I think, remained like a small warehouse. And then in 2024, like this year, we moved to the new big location. And then we kind of had this opportunity of reconverting the space into a training area where we actually, for the moment, we only give training service to our business-to-business clients like coffee shops or other HoReCa business that have a coffee program. But we plan at some point to do some end user training. We're having two colleagues which are trainers, and we're working now for their development in training, like SCA courses and their progression and upgrading their skills. And I think at some point, beginning of next year, we will be able to open also, let's say, for the public to have some basic courses for home barista and something like that.
Well, a lot of going on in Dropshot.
Yes, but education is very important to be able to, as I told you, to communicate better with our clients, and also us not being, let's say, the profile of the company which operates their own coffee shops. I would say it's very, very important to have, let's say, the training zone, the training school, as an opportunity to connect with end users. This is something we want to do, and we kind of lack not operating coffee shop and not having many location where our clients can interact with us.
Okay, that's good, Razvan. Okay, we're almost at the end. I have another question for you. So if you can tell us the name of a person that most inspired you in the coffee sector. So I don't know, someone that has been like really your guide in the industry.
Well, to be honest, as a person, when I was a really, really geek barista, I think Tim Vandelbo was somebody I was following a lot. I had the opportunity of meeting him in Bucharest, and I never went to Norway. I really want to go to Oslo, and I think I'll do it in the next couple of years. But for me, it was kind of a role model. I was at that time when I was studying specialty coffee, I was really, really looking up to his style. And even though, let's say, like Dropshot, only some part of our coffee are that light roasted and let's say implement the Nordic style, I was really, really inspired by his personality and his vibe as a really, really high quality driven specialty coffee person.
Yeah, I'm sure many in the industry followed him. Bueno, Razvan, I don't know, from my side, that's all. I mean, I would have like other questions to do, but the time is what we have. If you have some question for me or for Mareterra.
I do have. So one of the things I really loved about Mareterra, I know the projects and the energy you're putting into sending some specialists from your company to different origins and teaching farmers how to process better. And I know you're doing this in multiple origins. So I'm really curious, after these years of experimenting, I know in some countries has been going really well, and in some countries maybe not optimal, but which are the best countries and the best projects from this perspective? The best experience you had with this project?
Really interested. So yes, we have a research and development department in our company, which is managed by Timur Dutkin. So he's really an expert and passionate about developing recipes at origin. So what we are doing since almost 2012, 2013, it's really building solid relationship with producers and cooperatives and working directly with them, providing them materials and our knowledge of building something new, something that's not replicable from other traders. We don't look at the end of the harvest for a cup or an offer that just give us and we say, okay, we choose this one. No, we look for a coffee of continuity, so a coffee that we can grow year by year in quantities and in qualities. So you were asking about one origin in particular that was the most successful one. So I might say El Salvador could be a great example with the family of Andrea Salaverria. We have data, so because we base at the end everything on data, that the El Salvador approach has been very successful because we have seen growing under kilos, so kilos per year that they produce for us, differentiating different microlots, but also increasing the SCA points, so the SCA score.
Yeah.
So we see that for one microlot that I don't know, in 2012 was producing I don't know, 2 tons, today has arrived to 6 tons and the increase of 2 scores, SCA score. So really, El Salvador really worked a lot. Then other origin, we do the same business model in adapted to each origin, because then you need to face a culture that is different, a different language, a different way of approaching the business, and this is the toughest part for sure.
Yeah.
So, for example, right now you had the chance of meeting Emmanuel from Rwanda.
Yeah.
And for sure, with him we are developing very nice and interesting coffees. So yes, we do all this approach in all the different origins. So I wouldn't say one is the best of the other ones. For sure, the El Salvador example has been one of the most successful one, but as well was one of the first ones that we started with.
Yeah, remember, I really want to meet also Emmanuel. So next time you organize a trip,
we go. Yes, exactly. And the idea is also to collaborate with roasters of going to origin with them and showing as well traceability to all the industry.
Exactly. Great. So I have another question related a bit with this project, origin project you have. What is the feedback you get from the climate change? Because we have seen that climate change is an issue. Maybe even this year in Brazil, with all the price increase, we can say it can be also due to the climate change. And how you, Maritera, see this challenge of weather changing, and how do you think it will affect you and us and the industry?
So yes, first of all, you mentioned about the price. Pricing, it's a topic that is influenced by many factors. So not only climate changes, not only the yearly production, but also geopolitical side, the demand, the logistics. So in this moment, for example, we are facing big increasing in pricing. I mean, the last few months, not only related to the climate change. For sure, it is a factor that the average temperature has increased. So what if Arabica 12, 15 years ago was easier to grow at certain altitudes in, I don't know, in Peru or in Colombia, more and more that increase this temperature will be harder. So how we want to face this problem, if it will become like super serious, is to give new models and new materials as well and knowledge to the producers, because at the end it's a matter of adapting your type of doing agriculture to the climate. So there are many at the moment in Brazil also that are doing regenerative agriculture. This actually could be a way, but that's important of collaborating all together to get a solution and sharing knowledge as well. So that's very important. Then, of course, it's unpredictable. We cannot forecast natural damages. This we need things that we need to develop things that can cover these things that could happen.
Yeah, it's really a challenge, and then that leads to my last question: the fact that you have this relationship with many of your farmers or cooperatives also wants me to ask you, what is the Mare Terra ethical and transparency principle which you have been developing in the last, let's say, 10 to 12 years since you operate so intensely only with specialty coffee?
First of all, our values, one of the most important values in our company is the fact of traceability, but it's not something that we say it for marketing, but it's true because we have all the traceability that you can find on the website. For example, you can see the name of the producer, the name of the cooperatives, the roaster can ask us about the pricing, all the pricing that we can have as well at farmer level. So on this side, it's always been a core value. Then developing ethical and social project could be also an example. And in Rwanda, for example, we have developed a social project about breast cancer for women. So what we did is all the sales that we did with the microlots. Well, first of all the microlots were covered of a pink Utah bag, so just like as a symbol. And then with some of the money that we received from there, we are investing for preventing the breast cancer in Rwanda. This year we are doing the second round, so it would be another opportunity for developing a new project. So we start, but it's always done through a cooperative or a producer. So we want not only that the producer or cooperatives get richer or get most out of our materials or knowledge, also the community. So really building together. And also another things for traceability is bringing roasters, our clients, to origin. That an approach that we are not worried that you're going to steal our coffee, our recipe. So if you want to do it, you can do it. You're not working with us anymore. So really, that's the approach that the other stakeholders like you follow, and we like clients like you because they think in the same way.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Alessandro, for sharing your ideas and answering my questions. And really happy to have you here, and really happy for the initiative, and I congratulate you for that.
Okay, thanks a lot, Razvan. Guys, if you pass by Bucharest, call me, and then I will put you in contact with Razvan because he's very busy. So, but yeah, Dropshot in Bucharest. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Thank you.